I suppose it's a hard step to take when you feel the need to speak to a nation. And the Ukraine is a nation. I don't particularly approve of nations because east or west of Ukraine, we are all human beings. And that's the problem, isn't it? All human beings that have learnt our behaviour over millennia. Ukraine itself has a known 5,000-year-old history. When Christianity moved in, and the Ukrainian leadership at that particular time, it probably wasn't even called Ukraine at that particular time. When they adopted Christianity, they adopted it for a reason, and that reason was to expand their influence into Europe, and that was perhaps 1,500 years ago when that was happening. So Ukraine has had a history with Europe, the kings and queens of Europe, for at least 1,000 years. And that's why the people of that area choose to lean towards Europe. Western Ukraine leans toward Europe. And of course, Eastern Ukraine leans towards Russia. But the problem is we are just all human beings, and the goal of human beings must really be to create sustainable societies all over the planet, everywhere. But this is not the goal of the present global system. The present global system revolves around just making a profit, and at the expense of everybody else. But there is a system that I would, like all humanity to look at, really, and that is the natural law resource-based economy. And I'm not going to say any more about it. It should be up to you as an individual, as a human being, to look at what the natural law resource-based economy is about, and how it can and obviously will benefit not just sections of humanity, but the whole of humanity. And as far as our friends in Ukraine are concerned, the the governing bodies have won. Russia will probably get the whole of eastern Ukraine, and western Ukraine will sink into the depths of despair, trying to pay IMF loans back, and all of the consequences that will bring upon the people of western Ukraine. But the other option is that natural law resource-based economy, whereby everybody is really, I suppose, a partner in their own future. Anyway, it should be a global thing, really, not just a national thing. But the Ukraine has that opportunity to look into it, just as Scotland does with their independence. But I don't think you're going to look into it as a whole, because nobody ever listens to the 99% nobody anyway. No, melting into Russia and melting into the European Union is not really the answer for the people of Ukraine. Self-determination can only be achieved, really, by separating yourself off from the whole world, from Russia and from the EU, and you must learn to be a nation in cooperation, not a nation in conflict, and the conflict is brought about by dredging up the histories of the 20th century and before, but especially, of course, the 20th century, because of all the horrors that were perpetrated by Stalin and National Socialism at that particular time. National Socialism obviously has its good and bad points, just as communism had its good and bad points. But the problem is, neither of them work. The world system now is fascist. It's international fascism. And that's why, in my opinion, the fascists rose up, or the National Socialists, or those that lean towards the Nazis of 70 years ago, 80 years ago, rose up in the Ukraine because they were the physically dominant population of the Ukraine, and were filled with the hate for Russia that they have been indoctrinated with by their own relatives and whatever over the past 80 years. But the same is true of the indoctrination of the Russian population and their obvious hate National Socialism and the the mentality of each of them. Each of these groups are just savage, but that is the attitude of the whole world. We are nothing more than technological savages, and that's why the best option for the Ukraine is to throw away all fucking weapons, whoops, and cooperate, because the fascist international dictatorship, this group of psychopaths, global psychopaths, want you to be divided and in conflict with each other. It's something that you just need to realise that you are doing exactly what the international fascists want you to do.